Everything always happens for a reason, and this was meant to happen. The papers have said, oh, she left him when he was bankrupt, and this was going on for like 10, 12 years before I actually left.
Leanne Brown is a reality star, mother of 3, and a holistic coach who rose to fame on The Real Housewives of Cheshire. She's on a spiritual journey of self-discovery, inspiring others to awaken their true potential.
We've had great financial trappings along the way and everything like that, but now it's not there.
It happens a lot with footballers, unfortunately. A lot of them do go bankrupt because they're ill-advised and they're not sure how to invest the money.
Now you're running retreats and helping other women to heal, essentially.
When you get a group of women together, you start talking and opening up, and you realise that there's so many similarities between each other.
Let's talk about menopause and body changes. How's that impacted you physically, emotionally, spiritually?
I struggled to get out of bed, like I forced myself to get out of bed. The energy levels dropped, my body ached. At that point I thought, I feel like I need to get some help.
Leanne, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me again, 2 years later.
Well, you were our most popular episode, so I thought, well, let's get you back and see what you've been doing in the last 2 years.
No
because
pressure.
It has changed a lot.
Yeah, and can we just address the a big rock on your finger and celebrating? Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I got engaged, which I never thought would happen. And Danny has tread where no man has ever tread before. I mean, I've got to 40 years of age and nobody's ever proposed to me. But then everyone says to me, yeah, it's because you'd like fucking terrified. And that is true. I've never given up the vibe to anybody like that I would ever say yes to them.
Never been ready.
No. I was always in the back of my mind thinking, I'll never marry you.
Because he wasn't the right one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Oh, hail Danny.
Thank you.
Arrange you in.
I know, he did.
Love it.
Yeah. My dad said that. He was like, I know Alyssa's not easy, but you've managed to control her a bit.
A bit. Well, it's beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So happy for you.
Thank you so much. So let's get back to you. So the last 2 years, you've done a lot, changed a lot. What's been going on?
Oh gosh, where do I start? Looking back, I was going to song that I can't sing. Well, I think when I came on the podcast last time, I was 12 months in, separated, living on my own. And when I did actually watch the podcast back yesterday, because I was like, I don't want to like repeat stuff. And actually when I think about where I was and how I came across, I was still in a really like tough place. And it's like I've been in this perpetuating cycle of survival, but almost to the outside world, I felt like I've had to portray that I've got my shit together more than really have. I always try to be authentic, and I've always spoke about when I'm having a bad time, but also, really wanted to continue helping others that resonate with what I was going through, the separation, going into like menopause, everything changing, like the family dynamics, coming to terms with all that. With regards to the retreats, Sophie had a baby 2 years ago, so things changed there as well. Whereas obviously we wasn't doing retreats as regular. And then the Arnside house that we were doing regular ones was sold. So that kind of put a stop to us having that regular sort of retreat space. Go on, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, Sophie's your business partner in the retreats, isn't she?
Yes.
So does she do all the cooking and the nutrition and things like that? Yeah, I've met her.
So that was a lot. So we've obviously... We were speaking earlier, weren't we, about you have a product, you have something to sell, and it's when you haven't got the finances to really push it out there, like the marketing. I mean, I've been very grateful that I've had the platform that I've had to actually be able to reach more people than your average person. But as you know, the retreat space is fairly saturated as well. And we've got so far, and like both of us are Aquarians, so we're obviously very creative, but with regards to the technical side of stuff, and it's been quite tough to sort of get it further than what it was, if you will. So aside from that, going through just like coming to terms with like dealing with the kids and you know, when I came on the podcast, I did say like that I'd just really struggled with the kids not being at home all the time. And but honestly, because I left the house that we were sharing, I lived in the middle of nowhere. Wes was in the middle of the town centre. So the kids really didn't want to stay with me. And that literally, when I say it broke my heart, it was like soul destroying. It like, they were my little girls. They are my little girls. And to have them say, oh no, we're not coming to yours. But then I went into victim mode. So I would then almost not on purpose, but make them feel guilty, thinking that they didn't love me and all the rest of it. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So I've been in this cycle. Financially, I've been on the floor. And that's another thing, Alyssa, that I've really struggled with. And obviously, you know me from being in the big houses and having all the fancy cars and not having to worry about money, to actually going back to baseline, but not having a safety blanket of, my partner bringing in money and you know, I've wanted to do things for myself. I've wanted to do my own businesses, but actually having the knowledge to put them things in place. And but yeah, it's been a lot. People don't realize the level of financial loss that we've had.
No, I completely get it. And people can be really unkind because they're just like, oh well, you know what I mean? You're at your high, and they can be really unsympathetic. It doesn't really matter what happens. The problem is you gave up your life, career, whatever you would have done in life for somebody who you married and thought they're going to look after me and provide me forever. You then had 3 kids with them. So that was your role. Do you know what I mean? And yes, you had great like financial trappings along the way and everything like that, but now it's not there. And all that time where you could have built up some skills or some capital or security yourself, you haven't done that because you were busy being a mum and everything else, looking after him and his interests and all that.
Busy in a bubble.
Exactly.
That you just think that it's never going to end. And that is actually a warning for like so many, not just even footballers' wives, but, you know, women that are in relationships. You know, if there's anything, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've got nothing against, like, I wanted to be at home, be a mum. My mum was on her own. My dad left when I was 13. And my mum had to go out and work, you know, to put food on the table. And she had 3 jobs. We hardly seen her. And because she wasn't present at all, I loved the fact that I could be at home for my kids and make sure I was picking them up from school and, you know, being able to be there. But there is a massive money wound for me, and feeling that no matter what was brought in, it wasn't mine because I wasn't going out to earn it, but also there was an underlying awareness of that it wasn't mine. You know, if there was arguments, it was sort of like, you know, I was made aware of it. Do you know what I mean? And then also from the public, you know, the wag culture and, you know, you're just sponging off your husband, you know, you haven't got a job, and the different footballers' wives that come out and said, like, I'm working, I might have kids, but I'm still working, and made me have a massive inferior complex of that even though that was my role and that was my job within that relationship, I still didn't feel like I was worthy of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it.
And even with Wes, I think that he honestly didn't deserve that. He didn't feel like he deserved to have it because he just give it to everybody. And that's, you know, partly why, you know, because he's been so generous that we're in the situation that we're in now, both of us. Yeah. Which is really sad when I think about all the money. And people can't comprehend it, that you've had all that money and all them big houses. Like, where is it gone? It's just a series of very bad investments, very bad, ill advice of people that wanted to take advantage of us, that were benefiting, lining their own pockets. And it happens a lot with footballers, unfortunately, that a lot of them do go bankrupt because they're ill-advised and they're not sure how to invest the money. I mean, what I've learned now about, watching podcasts like Stephen Bartlett and talking about investment and how to invest. I mean, obviously I'm not there yet having pots of money to invest, but I think, why is there not people that are going into football clubs and actually saying, this is how you need to invest your money to make sure that you've got wealth like lasting way beyond your football career.
Yeah, because realistically, 35? They're topping out at 35, aren't they? So realistically, let's say you start and you're picking up decent wages at 17. So you've got from 17 to 35 and that's it. And you've got a long life from 35 to, let's say, 80.
Hopefully, longer than that.
If you get there, 80 and beyond. But probably like minimum, if nothing else happens, 80 years old, where you're going to need a significant amount of capital to then live your life. And especially if you've got family and everything else. Maybe you bought some assets. I don't know what the best thing to do is, but I completely agree with you. I think now there is a lot more education in the clubs, because I think they've recognised that some of their star players, probably Wes is a good example. I know there's a couple of others that are in Wilmslow that I know similar things have happened to.
Oh, well, I hope so.
I think definitely there's a bit more education out there on what they should do with the money. There's a big gambling culture in football as well, because it's like, when you're earning that much money, where do you get your thrills? Because baseline is like, somebody who hasn't got much money spends £1,000 on, I don't know, a bottle of fucking champagne, let's say, is like, oh my God, I'm an absolute baller. But they could spend 25 grand. Do you know what I mean? And drop it. And it's not even a week's wages at that level. Yeah. So it's like, they've got to go big, and get the more they earn, the more thrills they've got to get, and they've got to keep pushing it. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of that like pay yourself first mentality. Like, no, you get your wages. How much are you putting into an investment straight off the bat? And then whatever's left after tax, that's your kind of money that you pay your house down with and everything else. But all that, bang, straight gone into an investment, and you don't touch it again until retirement, essentially.
Exactly. I mean, we were very unlucky with regards to the market crashing as well. We had 3 massive properties and the market crash in 2008, and that messed us up massively. But there was obviously other investments that we were told to do that were obviously...
There was that one that got everybody, I think, and the football, the film scheme. Yeah, and that got everybody. Which was crazy, because at the time everyone was doing it. It was legitimate. It was a legit, and then they changed the law on it. Yeah. So it wasn't like it was like tax avoidance, really. It was just being a bit, it was absolutely 100% legal. I actually thought all the ways, because I think even Alex Ferguson, David Beckham, they all went in for that. Yeah. And I've always thought that was really unfair. Yeah. But hey ho.
But like I said, like I always say, is everything always happens for a reason. And this was meant to happen for me to, build myself back up and understand the things about me that I never would have probably had the opportunity to do if I'd have stayed in that bubble and probably continued to be unhappy, because it wasn't all roses. And I mean, the papers have said, oh, she left him when he was bankrupt, and this was going on for like 10, 12 years before I actually left, and there was a lot of pressure, but there was so many things that were
not quite right.
Were right in the relationship. But like social media is a very good example of people that they just mask things. I was on a show I was trying to pretend that everything was amazing, and Wes hated me doing the show anyway. But
if you hadn't have done that, you probably wouldn't be in the position that you are. You wouldn't have found the strength.
No.
To go and forward yourself, though.
No, I wouldn't have. I probably would have like pulled away from the relationship that was broken down on the show, but I would have. It probably would have lasted a lot longer if it wasn't exposed the way it was on the show, to understand that actually I was being taken advantage of.
Did a lot of
massively.
viewers did they comment on how you were being taken advantage of? Did people used to send you DMs and messages like what is going on? Why are you getting pulled into this? Or
No, because everyone had their own fans, you see.
right.
So yeah, I got a lot of love, but I also got told I was a bad friend as well.
Right.
You know, when I decided that I was, you know, I was standing up to like, you know, I don't even want to say your name.
You're standing up to this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for so long it was almost, I had this fear of you know, saying, actually, no, you shouldn't say that, or don't do that, or I'm not going to say that. You know, there was so much manipulation going on behind the scenes. But so it was a massive growth for me through the show. And obviously being around Tanya, she obviously had my back through a lot of it. But yeah, no, I mean, the growth has really come since I've left and then decided to leave my marriage, and, you know, obviously got involved in the charity and stuff, seeing another part of the world that I just didn't even realize existed. And yeah, it's been, yeah, diamonds are created under stress, they say.
Of course,
So,
yeah, under pressure, absolutely. So let's go back to that then. So you mentioned before about your retreats.
Yes.
And holding space for others. And now you're running retreats and like helping other women to heal, essentially. How have you found that journey?
I've absolutely loved being in that space and, you know, seeing, I mean, all the stuff I've learned, my brain has been like a sponge since I've left the show. I think, fucking hell, I must have been such an airhead on the show. Literally, my world was going to Have Nichols and buying shit. And putting
It's
it in
that
my wardrobe.
dopamine, though.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you bought it, you just don't even care.
No.
I bet loads of stuff hung there, labels on, you
Absolutely.
don't even care about it.
Yeah, I had 3 wardrobes. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the Mobley house. But yeah, it's been so beautiful to be able to learn all the things that I've learned with regard, like the body and the mind and the shiatsu, the meditation, the yoga, the belief coding, all of this stuff, and being able to present it and help these different women and really listen to what they're going through. And when you get a group of women together, you start talking and opening up, and you realize that there's so many similarities between each other. Yeah, just being able to hold that space and seeing the change in them in that environment, especially when they're coming on the overnight retreats and being able to really get to know them.
What is it, do you think women are craving so much of? Is it that time away? Is it from like the partner, the kids, the house, all that? Or
Women are craving to be seen. I think we're all craving to be seen, aren't we? Just for themselves and without giving themselves to everybody, because that's what we're naturally born nurturers, to take care of everyone and everything. And so much so we get put to the bottom of the list the majority of the time. So being able to get away in a different environment amongst other women, like-minded women in that space, they feel safe to be vulnerable and not have to put on that mask and actually, you know, just carry on. And they get just to be themselves.
yeah.
And that's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose, I don't know, has anyone like really surprised you when you've seen them there? Or like the biggest shift you've seen, like, because everybody like walks in on day one and they're all a bit new, they might not know each other. Does people like come in pairs, or are they coming on their own? Or
sometimes they come in pairs, but a lot of ladies come on their own, and I'm obviously a little bit nervous, as you would be. But yeah, we've had a few amazing transformations. One, we make an example of this lady, because she was literally having a Red Bull for breakfast, smoking. She had, but she was eager. She wanted to learn. She'd never meditated, never had a sound bath, never done any breath work, nothing. And she just embraced it all. Her little boy was nonverbal. He was autistic and nonverbal, and she ended up learning more and more about the nutrition side of things and supplements through Sophie's knowledge as well, and started giving him magnesium. And then he started started talking more when she left the retreat, but she literally embraced every single thing. And when she went home, she put it all into practice, and she's just had another baby actually.
Wow.
But yeah, and she was only a young girl as well. But then equally, we've had ladies that have come, and not many, a couple of them that have obviously come because they want to, they're inquisitive and they want to learn more, and they sort of think they're open to it. But then when you start talking and sort of giving them a few wildcard home truths that they don't want to hear because we're so indoctrinated in the narrative and the medical industry, isn't it? That everything that is said in that environment is just the way to go. And by opening their mind up and telling them that there is different ways that you can help yourself, really.
Yeah.
And we've had some pushback as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So it's just always, and then again, like learning to deal with that in that moment. That's been really important as well, because it's all about learning from others as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
How do you find it, like being in that leadership position where people are looking to you for the answers, and you've got to stand there in front of a group of strangers and like, whether you do or you don't look like you know what you're doing?
Yeah, in the beginning it was very daunting, and I did shit myself. And there is still moments when we've just done this one, because we haven't done one since last year. So this one we just did in France. I was a bit like, oh gosh,
you got to sort out the logistics and facilitate everything. I used to hate it.
I don't mind the organisation of it, but actually standing, like creating all the different little workshops and stuff, and doing holding space for everyone, so
and giving everyone enough time. And when you've got like 20 plus people, it can be exhausting. And I don't mind being in like groups of people. I'm a real introvert, believe it or not, but I like being in groups of people for a limited amount of time, and then I need time on my own. And on a retreat scenario, you can't have any time on your own, and it's like 7 days long. And like, not that I'm not trying to be polite, but when I'm just like done with talking to people, I'm just like, I'm absolutely tuned out. And that's why I was crap at it, because I couldn't like kind of, I don't know, like be so on form for that amount of time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? I'm just not that person.
There was one time on the retreat, actually, the one in France, and but it was like 38 degrees or something like that outside, and it was because it was the last night, and we decided to get them all dressed in white dresses, and it was like 8 o'clock, still 37 degrees or something at 8 o'clock. We wanted to get a picture of us all outside, and so we were late with the dinner, and we were doing a barbecue that night as well. Like, what a night to actually choose to do a barbecue. I was doing the barbecue with Gemma, and I was literally like just sweltering, and because everyone was like, what's happening? When are we doing the workshop? And this is like the facilitator's asking me, and I had to just go upstairs and give myself 10 minutes because I didn't know. I was like, But yeah, there is moments, obviously, I think in anybody's life in business that, if you've got to take time out and do that, I think even mums like lock themselves in the bathrooms at times. Yeah. If you've got to do it, you've just got to do it.
I've been doing a lot more breathing recently, a lot more breath work. I've never been more stressed. I've just had 4 days away, and I really needed it. Like, I've never needed it anymore. But because before that, it was like every half an hour I would have to go and take myself off and breathe somewhere, because I was about to go into a tirade. I was so wound up, but it really does help. Breath work really helps. And by the way, I've had people in here who are like Cambridge scientists who are very much into breath work.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They're like, I'm all about this, that, and the other, incredible, but breathing really helps regulate your nervous system. So I don't think anyone can push back on that.
No, the most obvious thing in the world, breathing. And 80% of people just don't do it proficiently. We don't breathe fully into our lungs. Like, we just breathe so shallowly. That's why you feel better. Like, it's only in states of panic that we actually remember to take a full deep breath, and it just automatically will calm your nervous system. And do that if you start tapping as well, that's even
better.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm going to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
I'm feeling stressed.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Well, interestingly enough, I had my genetics tested. And this is something really interesting, actually. And then we had the guy on the podcast who's called Andrew Steele. His company called Stride. I'm sure I could get you a test. Anyway, when I went through my genetics, it was very clear to me why I am the way I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not very unsubmissive. I'm very kind of like strong, opinionated, and it's right there in my genetic code. I know. But he was like, because I was like, oh my God, like it very like, you can be angry very quick. You can be like 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. Like you can really like go. But he was like, listen, it's not a bad thing. You wouldn't be in the job that you are. You'd be an entrepreneur if you didn't have those genes. So it was so it was so amazing to see how your DNA that's just already there really can match your personality. So then I downloaded my report, put it into ChatGPT, and it was like, you are wired like a Ferrari. You need handling really well because...
And then came in Danny.
Yeah. Well, it said, and it gave me loads of tactics to help because...
That would be really good, yeah.
So basically, it said I've got a brain impairment. So I've got 2 copies of the same gene. Means don't have enough serotonin in my brain. So I can feel quite low a lot, like more prone to anxiety, depression, even though I'm not, or OCD. And then if I get bad news, it hits me really hard, and it takes me a long time to come out of it.
Okay.
Because my serotonin just doesn't go around in my brain. Like people are really optimistic. Like Jess Cunningham, she will not have those genes. I can tell you that. If we did her genetic profiling, she would have the absolute polar opposite because she's so optimistic and sunny personality, isn't she?
Yeah.
So I get a tiny bit mild inconvenience happen to me, and I'm like, oh my God, fucking world's over. Do you know what I mean? Take it really hard. But it gave me unbelievable tactics to try and deal with the way that I am. And mainly it was like, go and breathe. When these moments happen, you need to go and breathe. And I've remembered that. And then it gave me a load of other things I should be doing on top. But yeah, it was really interesting.
I'd like to try
Definitely do that.
There's so much now, isn't there, that you can do, like so many more things coming out, alternative healing. I've been in the Ark. It's like a chamber that you lie in, and it's coated with quartz. It's like a metal chamber, and they do like the ECG measurements of your energy centers, and they play music that is specifically for each chakra in the body. And then I've heard of the bioresonance, where it picks up all like parasites and stuff in your body. So there's so much now you can do to find out what the hell's going on inside of you and why the way
feeling,
you are. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I was shocked. I thought I would have like a perfect set of like results, and I was like, oh my God, impaired. It came back with like impairment. And I looked at Danny's, and he didn't have any of them. I was like, what the fuck? I can't believe it.
Competitive.
Yeah, but listen, he was like, listen, this is a plus point. You wouldn't be so dynamic and on it.
Oh, you're a powerhouse.
Yeah, well, that
I could probably do with a bit of your spice.
And I could do with a bit more of your soft skills sometimes. Okay, let's talk about menopause and body changes. Because like, how's that impacted you physically, emotionally, spiritually?
So that has been a massive factor that's affected me over the last couple of years. So I've not had a period for over 18 months now. So
you're 49 now?
49, yeah. I'll be 50 next year. Celebration.
We'll do something good for it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I've been taking Elle Sera for probably about 3 years now, I think. I have just upped my dose to 3 a day now as well. And I was a bit scared about HRT, to be honest. And then I started using the gel a couple of months ago, and I got really, really bloated. And then obviously I researched a bit, and then seeing that it was one of the side effects. So I stopped taking it because, I put weight on as well. Before I've obviously decided to take it, I've just, the period of life I think that I was in, because of everything that was going on in my life, because of the financial position I was in, and like I said before, it just felt like I was in this perpetual cycle of survival. And thank God I've had the stuff that I've had to sell, because I've literally had to sell everything to to just get by month by month, and then
like
it seems
what? Like bags, watches.
jewelry, clothes, like whatever I've had really, which is quite sad because it would have been nice to sort of pass some stuff down to the kids, but I'm sure that it will come round again. I know it will come round again, and I will obviously have that. But and I got to a point. I mean, I know mentally I was just really struggling in the beginning of this year. It hit me at my worst. Me and I'd been upset about like the fractured family that now is sort of thing, and how the kids were dealing with that, and how I was dealing with that. And then on top of that, just not having any money, so I've made such a big song and dance about material things, and money doesn't bring happiness, but it makes things a hell of a lot easier. And when you don't have it, there's a balance, isn't there, of it's being able to, if you don't have money, you can't move forward with things. You can't live in a state of, a peace, or, just not have that constant like worry month by month. So there was that, and then I just felt a massive dip mentally, and I know it will have been contributed by the menopause, and so much so, I had some sort of a breakdown. I've not really spoke about this, but and I went home. I was actually on the way home from Jess's granny birthday bash. We all went out dressed as grannies, and I was in the middle of I had some speaking training of the amazing Cheryl Chapman. She's incredible, and she sort of took me under my wing, and and she's been amazing in helping me doing the speaking. So I was creating this midlife awakening method to do with like coaching with clients, and then I don't know, I can't even explain it, Alyssa, because I felt like I was all right when I was out. And then on the way home, I felt like just a curtain had come down. And I knew when I got home that I was just going to have this meltdown. And I started ringing people because I almost felt like it was coming. And then when I got in, I just broke down and I screamed. I was smashing plates. And thankfully, I got on the phone. Nikki answered, my friend. And when she came, she literally picked me up off the floor. I was just on the floor in the kitchen. And even to this day, I don't understand what happened in my brain that just shifted. And I think I was just felt like I'd been in this like cycle of like putting this front on and trying to create these things and tell everybody and be authentic, like tell them like a little bit of like how I was experiencing things. But then it just got on top of me, and I just had a meltdown, and I was just almost in the sense of, I was saying to myself, like, what is the point of being here? Like that's the mental state I was in. And at that point I thought, I feel like I need to get some help. I need to go to the doctors and address this, because it's not right, is it? To be in that state. Anyways, a couple of days, I sort of picked myself up, and then that's when I went to the doctors and got some HRT. And actually within like 10 days, I started to feel better already. And then not long after that, then I got the job with the club, the private members club I'm now working for. But I feel like that was definitely, I'm going to say
turning point.
It was a turning point. It was like, I feel like that was rock bottom. I felt like I've cried buckets, leaving, separating, but I feel like I've still been on sort of an autopilot with it. And that just, when that happened, it's like, yeah, it was quite scary. It's quite scary, actually. It wasn't good.
I know. It's, it's horrible. And I've had lots of very successful women sat here who also said, I was suicidal. And I'm like, wow, this coming out of like their mouth. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, because the outside world, they're super successful. They're earning millions. They're doing this. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, I could not get out of bed. Yeah. I was suicidal. I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't think people realize the impact, and this is why it's so important to talk about, of like hormonal shifts, menopause, because your ovaries aren't going to go out without a fight. They are. So that's why it's like a roller coaster. It's not just like this, nice taper off. And it's not. It's there.
Yeah.
One day you're up, one day you're down, one day you're up,
Yeah.
one day you're down. And horrendous.
Yeah. I couldn't even, I struggled to get out of bed. Like I forced myself to get out of bed. But I like even the energy levels dropped, my body ached. Like I've not been in the gym properly for the last probably 8 months, put on weight. And I know it's because I've not moved enough.
And you were always super fit.
And I always said, it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And my mum's always said, well, when you get to a certain age, you'll put weight on and it'll hit you. And I'm like, not me, no chance. I'm going to keep training. I'm going to keep going to the gym. But I think just everything that happened up to that point as well didn't help. But and obviously doing the retreats, and then I am very hard on myself as well. I feel like I am. I beat myself up that, how can I speak about this? How can I say this? And then I have this little voice in my head saying,
you need to believe code that out.
Yeah, of course. But actually, I mentioned Gabor Mate on the last one, and I was listening to his podcast, and he was being interviewed, Stephen Bartlett, actually, and he was talking about how he'd a couple of days before felt very anxious, very beating himself up, all the self-talk because he'd done a seminar and he didn't feel like it went very well. And so nobody's immune to that, and it was about that he just felt like he could, everyone else could be stressed, but he couldn't. And it's that thing of we're in general, we're all hard on ourselves, aren't we? But I suppose that's what keeps us going.
Of course. Listen, I am awful to myself in my head, like horrendous. If people could hear some of the things that I say, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful, but I'm like, especially if I'm doing something that's really challenging, I'm like, you're a fucking loser if you can't do this. Even if it's just in the gym, just doing a few reps in the gym. You know what I mean?
That's not a bad thing though.
No, it's not. Because it means I get there. There's 2 things that are my biggest drivers. If my PT just says it into my ear, it's 2 things. He's like, if Grace was here now, what would she think of you? And then it gives me another. It literally is like another gear because I think her mother's not a loser. And then the other one is like my subscriber number for Elle Sera because I think, fucking hell, this number is eluding me. And I feel like if you don't do this and you don't nail it, you're never going to get to that number. That's what I say to myself all the time.
That's good though. That's a healthy
motivator.
Yeah.
I wish I could get to the gym. That's my biggest motivator at the moment. Now, it's my birthday on Saturday, so I'm now eating just liquids, just soup. And then Danny was like, I think we should just get married before the end of the summer. And I was like, I need to get in shape. You
are so in shape.
Oh my
Stop.
God, trust me. This is not in shape for me.
Oh God, honestly. You're making me feel...
I know. We'll never be happy. I'll never be happy.
No, and do you know what? This is the thing. And I remember my mum always looking at old pictures and going, I looked all right then. God, I didn't have any confidence. No. And we were all the same, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it is about being comfortable in your own skin. But my body's changed as well. Like my body has changed, you know what I mean? But I'm on a mission now before I'm 50. Fabulous at 50. That's what I'm...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like silence around perimenopause and I'm really grateful you're talking about it. But what did you wish that you knew sooner that had happened to you and you thought, I never knew that was going to happen?
I think obviously, because it was perimenopause, I guess, when I decided to leave and stuff. And I think if I'd had more awareness on that, because I remember being so upset all the time and just crying and not understanding why and what was going on, why my emotions were all over the place. Obviously, I think it was inevitable that if things didn't change in the relationship, then we would have broken up. But I think I would have understood myself a little bit more on what was going on, because I like being...
Estrogen drops and that's like your motherly caring hormone. When that drops, you just think, fuck you, a bit more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're just a bit more like, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
And there's loads of statistics on this about how many people split up in that perimenopause or menopausal era, and it's because your estrogen's dropping.
Yeah.
You really care less about a lot of stuff now, and it's like, I've looked out for everyone.
Yeah.
And now I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I just sort of felt like, again, it's going back to, we were saying being seen. I felt like we'd got in so many bad habits growing up, and I felt like I just wanted my relationship to have more communication and stuff like that. And that was very difficult when these habits had been created from being kids, really, when we got together. And actually, we don't really have communication in our blueprints, funnily enough. So it was very difficult to then expect that from somebody that couldn't really give it, or and we couldn't really do it together. But I definitely think if I'd have understood that these are the things that can happen, there's a fine line, because I know I've seen a lady do a talk, and she was saying that it should be in school. These young girls should be made aware of it. And I think, but think that's because I think there is an element of subconscious programming as well that can happen, that when you're told that you're going to experience this, and this, then you can actually create that more so, or have it more severe. So there definitely should be more awareness on it, but I do think
maybe wait till you're like 30. 30s, you start you might start listening a little bit more.
Because you don't listen to anything.
You don't care. When you're 20, you're not interested.
Of course.
Libido's absolutely running rampant. Or you're just like...
the sex drive had gone as well.
All those things, of course. And that has a big impact on the relationship too. But I was not even interested. And then when I started running retreats myself, it was only in my 30s, young 30s, that women were coming on the retreats and started talking about it. And I was like, I didn't really understand it, but then I started learning a lot more about it. And then obviously listening to it a lot, speaking to people, really started getting my head around it. And then started researching it loads, and then, went from there really. And I spend my whole day immersed in it. All day long, speaking at so many different aspects. I'm part of the Gen M group. I was one of the founding partners, and that was 4.5 years ago. Now, I'm probably in perimenopause now. I notice tiny little things. My period used to be bang on 28 days. Now, it's like 29, 30 now. So I know it's creeping up. Things like my hair follicles will get sore. I think, what's wrong with you then? Like, my hair's really sore, and I haven't had it tied up today. It's just your hormone. Because I had that after pregnancy as well, when my hormones are going wild. And I think, that's another little... But I'm so attuned to it.
Yeah, because you're aware of it.
So
you know
aware
what
of
to
it.
expect.
And I would be like you. Yes, I take Elle Sera. Yes, I take magnesium. Yes, I'm so on top of like all my supplements, lifestyle, nutrition, getting, weight training, all the right things, because I'm immersed in it every day. But listen, if I was really on the floor, I'd be exactly the same. I think people think I'm totally against HRT, and I'm like, I'm absolutely not.
No.
Like, there's only risk if you're like obese or overweight. Then obviously your breast cancer risk goes through the roof. So you've really got to keep your weight down and healthy. But you do a lot of the right things. I know you. I know how long you train for. I know you love weight training. We've walked. You've always been active.
I literally just fell off though. Like, I just didn't have the motivation to go.
But I don't believe for a second you're the type of person that's eating junk food all the time.
No.
It really helped. Like, so you do so many of the right things, and they still happen to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no shame in it. That talking about it or taking whatever. It's the only thing that's even slightly controversial. And I've had endocrinologists sat here, and he's like, it's not controversial. I'm like, but why has it been like, there's so much propaganda around HRT, like the risks and stuff. And it was just one bullshit study, which is not even the same hormones that we give ladies now today. But if you had thyroid issue, they just go, there you go, there's some thyroxine, replace it. If you've got low testosterone, they go, there you go, to fellas, just go and replace it. If you had, I don't know, insulin deficiency, there you go, there's some insulin, take it. Anything to do with the pancreas, there you go, take it. Whatever. Why? Just replace it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big issue. It shouldn't be an issue, I don't think.
No.
So, yeah.
It is, it's crazy. I mean, when you look at the old, seeing some of the really old, the olden days, they used to think that women had hysteria, didn't they? And they used to like,
section them.
Yeah, or they used to like finger them, didn't they? Or they used to fiddle with them or something to... Yeah, they did. I've seen something like a while ago.
Probably. Listen, nothing. shocks me anymore about how women have been
As long
treated
as it's
in the
a sexy
healthcare
doctor,
system.
I'll go.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's absolutely crazy. But thankfully now there's more people talking about it. I think there should be. Absolutely hate people will say, oh, it's profiteering off it. I'm like, fucking joking. All I'm trying to do is really shine a light on it and help women. Like, and guess what happens when more people enter the market? Guess what happens? More women get happier.
Yeah.
That's my whole belief system.
And then probably save more marriages as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love all that.
Yeah.
You also had your implants removed.
Yes, I did.
How was that? Why was that?
So I had my implants removed in 2019. I was going to get them changed, but then I had a random DM on Instagram actually saying that about breast implant illness that this lady had found out about, and not many people are aware of it, that implants can cause lots of different symptoms, but the symptoms that you might just put down to general tiredness, like if it's fatigue, muscle aches, like a bit like that, it's to do with your hormones basically, because when you're putting something in your body that is a foreign object, your liver is going to send enzyme to try and get rid of whatever it is.
And it's like constant little low level inflammation probably.
Exactly, yeah. And so that's like, it can affect, it has affected thousands and thousands of women. And I think there is some doctors in America now that are just doing explants. So I was having a lot of the symptoms when I started to research about it. And then I decided that I would have them out, which was a daunting decision because I was really small before. And I'd had two breast augmentations, one when I was 21 and then one after I'd had Hallie. The first one that had it was like, I was very swollen, almost like had one big boob. So it put too big an implant and it almost like folded over inside. The second one, that had encapsulated as well. The second one is encapsulated, so it went really hard. So when I took them out, they were in a bit of a state, to be honest. And
how long did you have them in for?
So
plus 10 years.
Yeah. So 26, I had them done again, or 27. 37 for So 20, like 13 years or something like that. So one had a gel bleed and one was really calcified. But I had these little symptoms like allergies as well. I was almost had like allergies. My eyes would itch, they were dry, I would sneeze all through the year, not just hay fever season. Food allergies, they've not completely gone away, but I also had a problem with my hip. I had a sacral iliac dysfunctional joint from my gymnastics and being really bendy. But that would flare up massively when I was during my period. Again, the hormone fluctuations in the body. When I had my implants out, it just went away. And it does flare up occasionally. Now, obviously, again, my hormones have changed, but that flare up without my implants were obviously causing more inflammation in the body. That disappeared. My allergies disappeared. I wasn't as tired all the time. You know, there's so many things that did just disappear. And I've had, I did a post about it back then, and I had over 500 people like wanting to know why I did it, how I felt, and that they'd been experiencing a lot of these symptoms. Apparently they come with a black box warning now, implants, but they don't, you don't see that because you don't see the box.
No, of course, I feel like I should. I want an MRI on mine.
Yeah.
I've had too many young women on this podcast who've had breast cancer, and I'm like, fuck, this is a warning. And I'm still trying to get an MRI, and everywhere I ring up, they don't do breast MRI. They do full body, they do this, they do that, but they don't do breast MRI.
So again, this is another controversial subject, mammograms. I mean, the mammograms causing trauma to the breast because of the compression of them. I never had one because I had implants anyways, and it obviously can cause ruptures, can't it? But actually, like natural boobs, it can cause that much trauma to the boob. It's not good. But somebody messaged me, but it's in London though, and it's like a water scan. I think you put your boob in a water and they scan it through the water.
Right.
But I didn't.
That might be new.
Yeah, it is very new. But yeah, there's. I'm so glad I had them out. I waited a year, then I had fat transfer. Because one of them was, I had a nipple inversion correction, which didn't even work. But the sponge was pushing so badly on the breast that it made it really flat and then like had a pocket, a really odd shaped boob. So I decided to have the fat transfer the next
And how
year.
was that? Does the fat like stay there?
It's up to 60% goes into your body, back into your body.
Right. So you've got to have a lot to take.
A fair amount, yeah.
I've looked at this before myself and they're like, you haven't got enough fat.
Yeah.
Like, great.
So you need to put a bit of weight on first.
Which I would never do.
Yeah. But actually my boobs, I don't know if it's just it will be hormones, isn't it? Like that different phase of life. My mum always said she didn't have any boobs until she was over 40 and now her boobs are massive. I don't want to go as big as her. But I've got like a really nice pair of boobs now. So, and they're natural and soft.
Yeah.
Sometimes do miss them not being just literally sat there when I lie on my back, when you're sunbathing. Yeah. And they like fall out to the side now.
Yeah.
But they're still quite perky. So I'm happy and I'm glad I did it. I'm definitely glad I did it.
I often wonder about this. I really want my MRI, to be honest. I really want to get that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. So it was really interested in the explanting. And like I said, I'm just interested myself. Who knows what I might do? Because I think I'm coming up 10 years now. I'm thinking, I don't know. But dating.
Oh gosh.
Right, let's get into dating and like post-divorce dating and like obviously the landscape has changed so much since you were single.
Oh God, I know.
Everyone's on apps.
I know.
Everyone's swiping.
Do you know what? I've just, I don't realize, well, you and me don't realize how privileged it was to grow up without the phones and technology. And I feel so bad for my kids and our kids, to be in that. They're just born into it. So there's no getting away from it. And I feel like there's so much disconnection in the world. It's horrific. We've obviously been connected worldwide through the World Wide Web, but actually people are so isolated and there's so much fear, I guess, from actually one-to-one contact now with men, especially approaching women. They're like, I want a gentleman. Like I said to you before, I want to feel like I am chosen and I want somebody to be like, you're my person and you're coming with me and I've been searching for you, but equally I want to be like physically and like energetically attracted to that person. But I've not been celibate for 3 years, but it's I've not found the right person, right man. I will get that straight, by the way, and I will say this on air. I am not a lesbian because there has been so many rumours that have gone around me since even being before the Housewives. And I've still been told recently that, I thought she was a lesbian. Nothing wrong with being a lesbian, by the way. But I am just getting it out there because I'm like, is that why I've not freaking met my guy?
Really?
Yeah, because it's still coming up.
Who do you think you're with then? Just like one of your mates?
Honestly, it's come from, I don't know if you remember, there was an episode on the show, I think it was Magali, that said that me and Dawn were lesbians. And I think it's just stemmed from that, and it's literally been regurgitated over and over.
You got loads of new partners.
That's why me and Wes split up, because I run off with another friend, and then every friend I've had, I've been best mates with, it's like, oh, now she's going out with her and now she's going out now. God. I can't win. So I am just putting it out there. I am not a lesbian and I'm looking for the man of my dreams. The man, M-A-N.
And not just a man, a real man.
A real man, a gentleman.
Oh, that's going to sweep me off of it. But the thing is, any man that you meet, I would imagine, is not going to be like a teeny bopper. So they will still crave that pre-tech era as well. And I still think that they will be like, oh, I can't do all that swiping shit. Bloody Plenty of Fish or
God, I know.
Tinder, whatever else they're on.
But where are they?
I don't know.
She's like, I've got my man, I've got my ring.
I fucking would just be on my own if I didn't have Danny, I'll be honest. I couldn't be arsed with all that.
No.
It would have to take some man to make me get back into a relationship with someone, because I would just be like, I've got my business, I've got my daughter, like, I'm done, I'm sound.
Yeah.
I've got loads of mates, I'll have a great time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have to be some person. And I couldn't even imagine that.
No, it is. It's, I've been on some of the other dating websites and literally, I wish somebody would just take Mentos to one side and go, this is how you take a photograph.
Yeah.
I mean, not with a freaking bottle of beer in your hand or a pint,
But
or like the selfies in the mirror, and like it's so
selfies in the mirror
lying
is
in the bed, like, oh my God,
cringe.
men are so feminized now as well. Yeah, I just think, like you say, what a real man, not the ones that are going getting their eyebrows done and freaking, do you know what I mean?
I don't think you're going to meet the man of your dreams on an app, personally.
No.
Because I think if you're on an app, that's a nick already. So I don't think you're going to meet, anyone worth their salt on there.
Yeah.
You're just going to meet them out and about. And you need to be vibing high.
Yeah.
Confidence at an all-time high. I mean, I met Danny, and this is interesting, actually. I nearly put this up the other day on his post because I looked at myself on the island. And you know when I went on the island, don't you? So like I looked at me on the island and I'd just split up with someone. I'd moved out. I'd come back to Liverpool. I felt like a fucking hell starting again. I didn't have a pot to piss in. I was literally like nothing. Writing anything I could for a little bit of money and constant dross. And then I decided went on the island, had a real 6 weeks self-reflection, really challenged myself, really difficult, came back. Gave up drinking. And then, I don't know, I was just in this zone of vibing high. I was so in a great place mentally. I was like, yeah, can't wait. I'm just excited for, it was summer. It was amazing. And then my friend rang me and said, do you want to go for dinner? I'm going out tonight with my friend Dan. I was like, yeah, I'll come. And that was it. And then I met Danny. But I was on such a high vibration myself that he was like, wow, look at this girl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd
done all that work.
Yeah.
I'd been all sad sack and you know what I mean? All that bullshit, got it all out my system. And then you meet the right person at the right time.
You only attract people to the level
that you think you're
worth.
That
you are. Yeah. You're worth, exactly. And that's something massively that I've been working through. And
because if you are low and vulnerable in yourself, you're literally going to go for someone who's not quite right.
No.
You know what I mean? Low, and they're going to see that insecurity in you, that vulnerability, and they're going to capitalize on that because you just want a bit of an arm around you.
Yeah.
And you're going to think, oh, well, they're all right for now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And actually they're not. And actually what you should do is do exactly what you're doing. Take a step back, really work hard on yourself, and then be like, no, I'm fucking walking into the room and think I'm the shit.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? And then that's going to attract the type of guy that you're going to be like,
exactly.
Yeah, he's the guy for me. Or you just have a different aura about you, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like this bombshell walking in.
Yeah. And I'm definitely hopefully mixing in the right circles now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because it's where do you go to meet somebody? And I don't want to go like Albert Slosh, and it's where do you go to be in them circles? But yeah, I'm working for Private Members Club now, which is meeting people that are successful in business and entrepreneurs, and it's amazing just to be able to mix in them circles. Obviously, being around wealth, I'm very I've been there, been around wealth, but it's different. It's a different group of people. It's people that have worked really hard and built themselves up, or they're in industries and businesses, and it's insightful. And they say that you are the
sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So yeah, so with working with Sarah and hearing her story and how she's built herself up, and it's good. I'm really loving doing that, and I get to go to beautiful places and curating these luxury
people.
Yeah. So I'm loving it. I'm really loving it.
Maybe you should do first dates.
Do you reckon?
And then even if you don't meet anyone on first dates, it's like a big advert, isn't it?
I know.
It's like a big advert. Then you might get people contacting you on Instagram saying, "Do you know what? That guy wasn't right for you, but I'm the right guy for you."
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I always said I want to do a YouTube channel where, because we're a group of friends that I've got now. Well, 3 of us are single out of the 4 of us, and all of us sort of publicise about finding a man for each other, but interviewing them. So it's not me personally going out, but them sort of going out and then shortlisting them. I'm sure there's a program about it, but doing it out there on so you've got your friends that actually know you better, actively going out, but document it, because it would make a good watch, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
talked about doing a either a singles night or a speed dating, but it's just like the dregs of society that go to
The problem is, and then Chris Williamson talks about this all the time on his podcast, it's called the tall girl problem. And basically it's like you've got the kind of man that you probably want who's like successful, you know, might have been married before, got a couple of kids, something like that. They've worked really hard in their business, whatever, they're interesting, all that. Because there's not that many guys in that bracket, they've got the pick of the bunch of women because there are a lot more women that are successful, university educated, higher paid jobs, owning more houses now. There's a lot more of them. So they've almost got, let's say they're a 50-year-old man, they've almost got everyone from 50 down till 30 in their catchment. Whereas for a woman, it's gone like that. You've gone like that. It's really shallow.
Yeah.
The pool of people you can pick from is so shallow that everybody, and you're up against like the 30-year-olds, the 35-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, the 45-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? You're up against all of them.
Yeah.
So it is really difficult. But, and he talks about that a lot on the podcast because women are becoming a lot more successful in their own right, but men are not meeting them. So the pool of men that you've got to pick from who you want to meet are just not there. And you've got at the lower end of the scale, loads of men, like you say, are more like the dregs of society that you think, oh, fucking hell, I'll never go on a date with him.
Yeah, because they just want to have sex.
They want to have sex. They just want to sit there and drink pints, fucking, do you know what I mean? Burp and fart.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or like you get the like the older guys that are going through the midlife thing and then they want a younger girl.
Correct.
Yeah.
There you go. Because if they've got a better till, then they're going to they've got the pool of people.
Yeah. So it's the younger guys want the, like some of the younger guys want the MILFs, don't they? The older women, but then it's just for a bit of fun.
Exactly.
And I want to have my life partner.
Of
I want to settle
course.
down. I want to travel the world with them. And you know, my kids are getting older, and I want to
have some fun.
Experience that
Exactly.
with somebody. Yeah.
And meet somebody who's kind of going to meet you where you are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can envisage somebody who's been on their own little personal journey for you and is probably into a lot of alternative therapies, healing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably wears beads and sarongs.
No, fuck that. No, don't. I don't want. You know what? At one point, I
Somewhere
was like,
in Bali or something, doing a yoga retreat in Bali. I think you got to be open minded.
Well, I'm open to like long hair and a ponytail and all that.
Tantric.
No, I wouldn't mind a bit of tantric. Yeah, I'm well into that. I've not done it, but I'm
There's
open
a tantric retreat, you know. So I'm reading the newspaper the other day. A 70-year-old guy went on this tantric retreat, and he.
See what I mean?
No, but everybody there was like, he was the eldest there. But I was reading it, I was like, fucking hell. And his kids were like, come on, Dad, go for it. Anyway, and like you just go around naked for most of the time. I'll send you the article because it's quite an interesting read. And I was just like, this
sounds... A couple of months later, Leanne's in there.
This sounds mental. But yeah, I think you should do a YouTube channel on all these things about your dating life, about I've just done a tantric retreat. Do you know how interesting that is?
Yeah,
well, I found it interesting.
Yeah.
I would certainly watch it. Whether people would let you film there, I don't know, because everyone goes around naked. But
still just obviously document.
It's down in Somerset.
Okay. Oh, it's in England.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a nice place abroad. It'd be cold going around naked then.
I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like
shriveled up penises.
But you're right in that the fact, I think you need to obviously put yourself in the situations where you think you're going to meet someone who's going to be a like-minded individual. So,
yeah.
And you are, you know what I mean? You've got a new job working with the private members club. So you're going to, and like, is that kind of like a dating club?
No.
It's more like business networking.
It's business, yeah. I mean, there is a couple of, there's a members, one of the members is a matchmaker. So that's interesting. So I want to get to know them a little bit.
Yeah. She might go, I've got a fabulous guy for you.
Yeah. But yeah, you just never know, do you? You never know. What I mean is it's just about getting out in different circles and going to different events and or even the ones that we're curating, you know, going to Glen Eagles in September, big golf event. That's with sports legends. So obviously my connections have come in with regards to that. So on about doing a retreat in Ibiza next year, skiing, They did Monaco Grand Prix in May, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to do Abu Dhabi next year. So yeah, that's sort of, it's given me loads of opportunity to travel and experience different things and
these
meet
aren't
new
like
people.
These aren't bad places to go either.
No, exactly.
Like, I'd like to go to Monaco.
Yeah. I didn't go to Monaco this year, but but definitely I'm in the right place. But it's been a journey so far. I think I've had to go through this period though, to do that healing, and you're not going to settle down with the first person you meet either, are you not? Because I've got to, when I've met somebody, when I've met different people and gone on dates, whatever, and then seen different things in them and what it's bringing up in me to work on all the time. So it's definitely been a learning journey.
Where do you feel most comfortable? Kind of retreat Leanne or private member Monaco Grand Prix Leanne?
See, it's hard, isn't it? Because they're two quite
different.
Well, they're not different because obviously we're going to do the retreats as well with the club. So I'm going to do that with Sarah's, with help with that as well, because obviously my wellness background. So I think they can mingle with each other.
Yeah. And listen, people are multifaceted. Some days you want to just chill and do breath work and sound bathing, and the next day I'm the same.
I feel comfortable in both spaces, to be honest, because of my background and the transition I've been through. I've been there and now I'm here, and obviously, like I say, I'm not in that financial position I was, but I'm now wanting to build it up for myself and have that own financial stability, and I think that's why I've not met somebody as well, because I've really told myself I want to be in a position where I can fully take care of myself,
totally
basically, and not need anybody, but they will add to to me, and so I
think you need to meet someone that's going to propel you as well.
Yeah, encourage, support, push me further. As opposed to just shut me down, and not really see me. And
the best thing Danny ever did for me was push me. He's like, I know you're great, you just don't believe it. And he's my biggest cheerleader. And after I met him, well, look at the trajectory of my life. Because I had someone next to me who was like, I've got you, I'm right behind you, and you're going to be amazing, and tells you that every day, and has this ability to make you believe in yourself. And I think that's what you need. Yeah,
absolutely. I think we all need that, and equally, I'm sure you are just as much a support and encouragement for him as well. And that's what it is. It's a two-way partnership, isn't it? But I want to. I think we should be allowed to be in our feminine, to have that male energy to be able to push us and encourage us to be the best versions of ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that is a lovely place to finish the podcast.
Can I just say another thing now? I want to just say that I'm finally going to be publishing the books that I've been doing, my kids' books. For the last 2 years, I've had them and they were sort of in the background, and now I'm definitely obviously doing the club and having a bit more time to not doing the retreats every weekend and stuff. I'm really focused on getting these lovely books out and trying to go in schools and promote them and stuff. So the first one's due in September.
Amazing.
Yeah. So then I'll probably bring another one out before Christmas and then stagger them, and
And I think you should write the book that everybody wants you to write.
I'm already writing it.
Which is the real warts and all of what's gone on in your life. You know what I mean? No vagueness, just
you heard it here first.
Yeah. Jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Every page. Oh my God. And if you want any help with that, please give me a ring. I'll be more than happy. I definitely
will need some help with it.
I'll be more than happy to be okay,
you can rip it apart.
This is great. Add more drama here. Give me more insight on that. Do you know what I mean? Almost think of Leanne as the character, the protagonist of the story.
Yeah.
And add those layers, because I think it would be a real page turner.
Yeah.
And like David Goggins, the only thing he had that was valuable in his life was his story.
Yeah.
And my fucking God, when that came out, bang, he was on the map. That's the only thing we've got. And if you're not truly honest in that moment, it's the only thing you've got. He was unbelievable, that memoir. It's one of my top 5 books I've ever read.
Right.
So yeah, It's mega.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely have started that. I've given myself a goal. Obviously, I'm 50 next year, so that's the goal.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank
You've
you.
come a long way.
I have.
And you've still gonna go lots
Still
of
got
places.
a long way to go as well.
For sure.
I'm very aware of that, but I'm on the way up.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
I
you.
know this is going to be another top viewing episode.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hope so.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Thank you.